everyone. I am Dr. Nisha Kumari, Assistant Professor at School of Business, Aditya University. Today we are going to discuss about the applications of design thinking. By the end of this particular lecture, you will be able to understand what are the different applications or areas where we can utilize the design thinking and how to apply the principles of design thinking to find out the real solution for the real world problems. So using design thinking, first thing we can apply design thinking to develop the products by understanding the users from problem from the core and to understand the root cause problems, so that based on those kind of experiences of users and their challenges or the problems, we come up with the new product and we develop the product which is going to address the problems which consumers were facing, or either we are going to enhance their lifestyle or their living standard by introducing the new products. For example, in like previous eras, there were just walkie-talkies to communicate, correct? But those walkie-talkies were having some limitation that during this particular area only they can work in. Then later on, some of the innovative people, they came up with the idea of landline phones. Now in the landline phones also there were some limitations where we can't travel with the landline phones. While we are traveling or while we are away from the home, we can't communicate with our families or the loved ones. So again, they applied the approach of design thinking and they come up with the idea of mobile phones. In mobile phones also, while they are typing using the keypad phones and all, what was happening? Again, they were getting the more time consuming things and all. So based on those kind of things and today's eras and the usage of the phones or the technology, what happens now, the smartphones came into the picture along with the integration of the AI. So based on the needs, based on the challenges, based on the, you can say, the experiences of the users, the entrepreneurs come up with some different kind of products, or the innovative scientists or the mindset, they come up with the different kind of products which are going to solve or which are going to address the problems of the users. Same wise, nowadays new things is kind of into the picture, the kitchen. So in that article, they introduce the AI integrated kitchen. So in that, what they are doing, they are providing you the AI integration, and in that integration, how they are providing the integration? By like managing all the equipments, or you can say the accessories available in the kitchen. It will be controlled and managed by the AI, as well as they will give the entire output, or you can say the entire list, or you can say that itinerary, that from the morning these are the things you have to do in your kitchen, and these are the things at this particular drawer, like this they will get the entire instructions, or the, you can say, the guidelines to utilize the entire AI integrated kitchen. Because if you see in nowadays in this busy lifestyle and all, what is happening, we are not getting enough time to cook for ourselves and as to take care of our family. We are hiring the third persons to take care of that part, correct? So now what is, and also the, if we specifically talk about the Gen Z people, they are more into the other creative works, not the like this kind of household works. So for those people also, it is kind of attraction or motivation to take care of their family as well as do something creative. Then service design. By understanding the users, what happens, we are going to imply the design thinking principles, and by applying those design thinking principles, we can improve the end-to-end service delivery for their better satisfactions. For example, you could talk about the Airbnb. Previously, what used to happen, when we are going for travel purpose for the short term periods, or you can say for instant booking, there were so many platform charges and verified property listings were not there, and also the property charges were also very high, and that too we were able to get just hotel rooms. But what happened with the Airbnb, they listed verified properties, as well as they started providing you the individual houses, flats, apartments, as well as RK studios also. So by that, what is happening, based on your purpose, based on your work, you can choose the property and you can like book that property. And that too, there is a option for that. Without contact, you can go and directly stay in that particular property, and you can empty that also. The entire process is not having any direct interaction with the owner of the property. Those kind of options also are there. Similarly, for the OYO, in starting when the OYO came, it came for the students who want to travel for some kind of learning purpose, for attending some kind of workshops or academic sessions, but they are not having sufficient money to book the rooms for themselves and for their stay, correct? So OYO bring the cheaper prices for their accommodations. So these are the ways how we understand first using the design thinking process about our users, their experiences, and then based on those experiences we come up with the different kind of services to solve their problems and to enhance their satisfaction level. Then process improvement. Again, by applying design thinking, the organization, well-established organizations also improve themselves and they can enhance the efficiency of their operation by streamlining their workflows and the operations. For example, your supply chain and the logistics. If you talk about the Amazon fulfillment, previously what used to happen with the Amazon, they were having them some certain warehouses, and in those warehouses they were just simply putting their products which they listed on their websites. But now what is happening, because they are providing the facility for the Prime membership, that within a one day they are going to deliver your products at home. So how the delivery can happen? That delivery, they make sure that it will happen within a one day by introducing the Amazon fulfillment stores, like establish those stores nearby their warehouses, nearby to the different locations where they can deliver the products to their Prime members within a one particular day. As well as for the Starbucks coffee, previously when we used to go for the cafeteria and all, we has to stand in the queue for our coffee and all, correct? Now Starbucks, what they did, they introduced the kiosk platform where you can order your coffee or whatever the snack item you want to order, and based on your turn or the, you can say, the token number, you will go and you will collect your coffee from the receptionist. Then again, by using the design thinking, what happened, they can go or they can walk with the trend, the current trend which is running in the market. So in that, what is happening, by utilizing the design thinking, they are able to understand what is the new trend is going in the market and who are the competitors they are having and how they can lead the entire market. So for example, if we talk about now IBM, so in IBM, first they started with the computing and the tableting. IBM came into the picture, their purpose was computing and tableting, and in starting they were doing the mechanical. Later on they turned it to the electrical based on the need of the market, or you can say to lead the market. Later part, when they see that there is some kind of emerging market regarding the computers and all, they started creating the hard disk and the floppy disk. Later part, they came up with the personalized computer itself. And now if we talk about the current era where they are talking about the AI integration, as well as they are providing you the career courses and the certifications to develop your skills. So this is the way where you can see how the businesses stay in the market or they can lead the market by applying the design thinking, where IBM started with the computing and tableting. Now they are providing the computers, laptops, as well as the courses regarding your careers or the skill developments. So design thinking helps to develop the new business models as well as the market entry strategies to the entrepreneurs. Then digital transformation. Usually what happens, while we are talking about the digitalization, people get nervous or they get some kind of anxiety that how that digitalization they can use to improve their lifestyle. But Netflix, what they did, they identify that there is a gap, there is the way of improving the satisfaction of the customer by adopting the digitalization. So previously when we talk about in our father's ages and all, we used to have some kind of cassettes, correct? So we will put those cassettes and we'll play the musics. Later part, we were getting the DVDs. There, if we want to watch any kind of movie, we will go and we'll buy the DVDs and then we'll play in the CD players. But then later part, TV came. Now in the TV also recorded will become, and that too with the fixed timings. Now what Netflix did, they identify the gap. If we are going to introduce the OTT platform where you can get all the contents at your own convenient time, and that too new kind of content without going to any store or any particular shop. So what Netflix they did, identify the gap to improve the usability and the digital adoption among the users by developing some kind of websites or the app. Then social innovation and public policy. Usually what happens, innovation and public policy, they are related to the governments or the NGOs or some kind of social enterprises, because these are the people who work towards the welfare of the society or some particular community. So when we talk about the social enterprises, these are those enterprises which are having the main motive to solve some kind of direct problem of the society or to empower some kind of society and the community, as well as to earn the profit to run their entire organizations. So when we talk about the social innovation, you can take the one of the example is infant warmers. So in that infant warmers, what is happening? They are having some kind of small, you can say, see as in the picture, they are having some small blanket kind of thing where they can they can carry the baby easily during the winter season itself also, and they are being provided to the rural people and the backward peoples. So by implementing these kind of innovations, by bringing these kind of creative ideas into the reality, what is happening, NGOs, governments and the social enterprises, they are solving the real time problem of the rural areas and their backward areas. Now coming up to the organizational change and culture building. So by applying design thinking, what happens, the CEOs or their higher authority or higher hierarchy people, they can understand what is the problem happening, where the problem is happening, and what is the root cause of that particular problem. So by identifying these things, what happen, they will be able to understand their employees, and by that understanding, what will be happening, they can come up with the solution. Using the design thinking, what is happening, they are able to motivate their employees to adapt and to innovate new kind of cultures, as well as to go with the new trends and flows, and they help the improving employee experiences, and it improves the communication within the organization. If we talk about specifically Microsoft, so Satya Nadella, what they did, they mentioned that how to utilize the AI, not to just done your work or rely on the AI for your work, but to use the AI to enhance their skills as well as to enhance the customer satisfaction. Also, Microsoft started the concept of entrepreneurship, where entrepreneurship means where the employees, they are coming up with some kind of creative and innovative solutions for the problems which are happening within the organizations. So these things we can do using what? Design thinking. Then entrepreneurship and startups. As we mentioned in the starting only, when we are talking about the overview of design thinking, that we are understanding the users, based on those understandings we are defining the exact problem, and for that exact problem we are coming with the solutions. So that problem, when we are identifying, in that problem, what is that? It's, you can say, it's an opportunity, as well as you can say it's a gap which we identify, and through our product or service we are fulfilling those particular gaps or the opportunities. So now using the design thinking, what is happening, entrepreneurs are able to create the balance between the desires and the viable business ideas, or you can say the solutions. For example, if we talk about the lens card. So lens card, what was happening previously, when you want to get your eye checkups or you want to buy the glasses, you have to go to the particular shops, but that is not feasible for everyone, especially for the all kind of age groups. So in lens card, what happened, they introduced the omni channel, and by that they also introduce your the home checkup, as well as they introduce the online trial, where you can upload your image and you can try the glasses online itself only, so that you will get to know how it's going to look like on your face, whether it will be suitable for you or not. So by that thing, what was happening, they were able to fulfill the desires of the customers, as well as it's a viable idea which is still sustaining in the market, and they are upgrading themselves with the upcoming trends. Same if we talk about the sweet caram coffee. If we talk about Sweet Karam Coffee, they are providing you the basic snacks, especially in regarding their South Indian snacks. But here what was happening? We were forgetting our roots. We were forgetting what are the traditional snacks we are having or the traditional flavor of those snacks. So they are providing you the organic items with the flavor of your tradition, or you can say your grandmother's hand. So by identifying that particular gap, Sweet Karam Coffee came into the picture in terms of your FMCG products. Then coming to the education and training. By applying the design thinking, we can able to understand the need of the current market, and by identifying that need we are can able to train, or we can able to educate our students to come up with those kind of skills, and or you can say the preparation where they can deal with those kind of new environment, as well as they can do something innovative in their careers. So if we talk about these kind of integration, Stanford D School and IDEO, these are those schools which apply design thinking for the first time in their curriculum to enhance the strategic skills of the MBA students by integrating the practicality, where the students are doing some kind of practical projects, and through those practical projects they are learning. So these kind of things we can apply using the design thinking by understanding the students, the scenario, and as well as the corporate training. So if we talk about the application of design thinking can be applied in all the different aspects or the domain which are available or which are present in the market, as well as by identifying some gap which is not still been identified through the research, especially empathy research, and we can create some new domain. For example, recently we are talking about the AI. There was no concept previously about the AI. But by understanding this kind of now hecticness and all those kind of pressures and workloads and all, the certain people who introduced AI, they understood that gap, and by understanding that particular gap, they came up with this kind of aspect or the trend, or you can say the technology AI, where now majority of the works are being done using the AI, or in a different, even though if it's your FMCG area, whether it's your textile area, whether it's your corporates, so everywhere they are integrating the AI. So altogether AI became the new market. So now by these things, what we can understand, that design thinking, it's a versatile approach, and it's a human-centered approach which help organization to create innovative and practical solutions. And as well as design thinking supports the continuous improvement. It's not just a one time, or it's not just we are using design thinking in the starting of the business, but while we are using the design thinking for the established organizations also to improve their operations or their workflow. Thank you.